doing? So, hi everybody, what's going on? It's Marissa Friedman, your friendly executive cat herder. Hope you all are doing wonderful. I don't know about you guys though. When we get to a Tuesday after a holiday weekend, it is always kind of this game of catch up where you go into the week and you already feel a little bit behind. So I thought I would jump on and really talk about a couple of things that have been coming up for me, and I'm sure a lot of you. The past kind of 60 days have been really interesting for a lot of business owners, not just me. And I think I have definitely reset some priorities and things that I want to do differently. And I think also I'm really getting hyper clear about the things that kind of matter to me. And also, I think that if I can do anything during this time, it's really to say, now is the time to kind of activate. And what are we going to do with all this free knowledge and all of this stuff that everyone is giving us? And there's so many gifts, right? There's been so many free events. Now, in that mix of free events, there's been some events that have just been, like, I love inspiration and motivation so much. I also appreciate execution and activation. And that's really why I'm jumping on today to have this conversation with a lot of you, because behind the scenes, I know that there's been a lot of people trying to figure out, how do I market? How do I price my products right now? How do I figure out, what my new market fit is, or if it's still there? How do I keep my restaurant running if I can only take 25% of that capacity? How do I do this, that? And so what I figured is I would get on, I would kind of talk through some of these things and really move towards more of a doer's way of thinking about things. So, off and on for the past year, Micropreneurs Unite has really just been a side hustle, if you will. It's been a project trying to get in there, give value to the group, give people really quick 20-minute things that they can implement, something that you can go in, check a bunch of boxes and do. And as I started going through kind of the past 60 days myself, just experiencing where are the gaps for me in what I'm seeing in the market, where can I be helpful, where do I think that there could be better opportunities, right? And really what it comes down to me is that there are so many conceptually great things people can be doing, but it's also, for those of you that may have kids at home the way I do, I don't have the luxury of just having, 10 hours in front of my computer. I mean, I'm here, but I'm also making sure that school is happening and that when people are hungry, that they're being fed. And oh, by the way, the puppies need to be walked. And oh, yes, on top of that, I have to remind myself to take a shower, get dressed, look somewhat reasonable for the day. So in that process of kind of figuring out what would be beneficial to people and why I didn't over push content in the beginning, I did a couple of roundtables in the beginning to just understand there was a certain level of panic, right? And then a certain level of like, okay, this is what it is. And now there's this navigating. Some of my friends in other states have the ability to go out a little bit more freely than we do. So my goal was to say, I need to take this Micropreneurs Unite group. I need to be able to go into that group and deliver value to everybody without making a huge ask. And part of it is this. I can't help as many people one-to-one as I would like to. It's just not possible with scheduling, especially when the top 10 things are the same things over and over again. So what I thought I would do would be to jump on here, obviously invite you to come into the group, hang out with everybody that's already in existence. There's probably, I think, like 76, 77 people that have been in there. And also kind of use the group to crowdsource what does everybody care about. So perfect example today was people were saying, what should our budget be for paid advertising? Well, did you know you could start with as simple as $5 a day? And everyone was like, what? You could start with $5 a day. I'm like, yeah. So there are ways that you can go about building an audience. And I want you to think about it this way. You can do anything that you want as long as you're willing to dedicate time to do it. So the way that I thought that this would work the best is if I broke everything into 20-minute lessons. 20-minute lesson, I'm going to jump on, I'll screen share, I'll show you how to do something, then you go ahead, you turn around and you implement it. So I'm going to use that group to not only crowdsource what things people want to learn about, but also like what things are winning or kind of hitting the mark, what things aren't. And then also for the group to kind of self-substantiate some content for each other, because I find that the collaboration piece is super important with everyone's business. Also, there's some life balance stuff that's coming into the equation. I've had more people asking me for life coaches and business coaches. And I also want to get really clear with people about what a coach really looks like and how do you go about, if you actually Google questions to ask a business coach before I hire them. I had the opportunity to be in an article with a couple of other people from Forbes, and we gave our input best on best practices and actually making sure that people GSD. And that means get stuff done. Now, looking at that, the group is going to be crowdsourcing. So I'll put up posts and ask what people want to learn about. I will teach the lesson, or I'll bring someone else in to teach the lesson. Has to be done in 20 minutes or less. No one has, at least I don't have 90 minutes to sit down to learn something right now today. I'm really living my life in 20-minute increments. So my hope is that each of you that sees, this might share it. You might join the group. On the bottom of the screen there's a text. You can actually text in if you're so inclined and you want to be able to do that, that's fine. I just wanted to be able to help more people in an authentic way to give you something that you can actually implement. Because again, motivation and inspiration is fantastic, but I also know that people just want to know, like, hey, I just need to know, how do I create a banner that has links in it that I can use on my social media and in my email campaign? Or how do I take this one video or this one piece of content? Is there another way that I can use that? And the answer is really simple. It's yes. So join me in the Micropreneurs Unite group. I'm asking you to come in. I'm asking you to tell me what you want to learn. I'll go in, I'll jump on. If you guys know how I roll, there's not going to be some crazy, overly automated email drip campaign. I'm not going to spam you 20 times a day. I'm not going to sell your information. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. What my goal is to give 100% value in that group and to really break things down into kind of micro increments and learning so that you can actually take that and implement it in your business. And along that way, my goal is for you to not only understand, identify, and observe how difficult components of marketing are, but also just to figure out, is that where your time is best spent? Case in point, I was working with somebody that really wanted some extensive email marketing campaigns. People know that I have very specific ways that I like looking at email marketing. I believe that it's a very crowded market, even right now, even with rates of opening being higher. I also don't want to receive 12 emails a day from the same vendor. So we'll talk through some of these methodologies. I'll share these resources. I'll show you how to do stuff. My friends will show you how to do stuff. And I hope you guys will join me. So I hope everyone is doing okay on this Tuesday after Memorial Day. I am figuring out all of the things. I do not have great lighting. I don't think I have any makeup left. The lighting is not perfect. If you know me, I am not a, picture perfect. This is just real and raw. And hey, I've got a tool, so I'm using it to get the message out. But also, I am ready for activation, as I'm sure many of you are. And although I love the stories of success and failure and everything in between, the glue that I think is really important, the glue is, hey, I want to figure out how to get free marketing from Google. Great, let's jump into that. I'll show you something you can do right away. Hey, I'm not technical, but I want to be able to sell my class online. How do I do that? Great, here's a way to do that. Hey, I want to make those cool videos that have the little timer on the bottom. Great, we'll show you how to do that. So again, the group is Micropreneurs Unite. It's on Facebook. You can join the group. I'm not charging for that group. It's a free group. Come in, share. We'll give you some opportunities to self-promote on the weekends if that's what you want to do. It is a value-driven group, so don't come in there and start spamming with all your links. But also, if you have something that you want to share, if you can teach something that someone can actually do in about a 20-minute period of time, think of all the things you do. What's one thing you can teach? I'd love to have you be a part of it, because I think so much can happen now by doing, like actually saying, this is what you need to do, and this is what you need to do, and here's a checklist, right? I think that's where everyone is at. Everyone is ready to go. Everyone is ready to implement their learning. Everyone is experiencing kind of that push towards like, I don't want to be on a 90-minute Zoom call. I just don't, I mentally don't have the fortitude to do it. That being said, I promised myself that I wouldn't talk any longer today than 15 minutes, and I'm at 11 minutes and 15 seconds, so we'll keep it at that. Everyone have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.